It's recording.
Oh, hi. I love when I do stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, I often say if I can do this business, like pretty much anybody can. So we're going to talk tonight. We're going to review a little bit about what we did last week, but mostly we're going to go into now the how do we do this thing. We know that there's a really good opportunity with doTERRA. And we know that that a lot of people are doing really well with doTERRA. We know a lot of people are interested in essential oils, but how do we do this now? So we're going to get into kind of the nitty gritty, maybe even talk about a little bit of your fears tonight about how to really get out there and make a difference in other people's lives. So I'm going to talk about something called PIPES, and PIPE is an acronym for prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. And that's not going to look the same for all of us. We have to be individuals in this and do this our own way. The way I do it is not the way that Mandy's going to do it. It's probably not the way that Carrie's going to do it. So before we get started with the presentation, I just kind of want you to listen to Carrie, who's been in doTERRA for what, almost 3 years now? Yeah. Okay. Can you just kind of tell us your experience as a stay-at-home mom and what that looks like for you to have a doTERRA business?
Sure. Well, yeah, definitely different than Kathy, who's an empty nester, so she has all the time in the world.
Oh,
right?
yeah, right.
So what I've found to work for me, I use a lot of social media, but mostly just working in my sphere of influence, which is kind of what we're all going to do. The people that you touch on a daily basis, that you're in communication with. So for me, some of that is social media because it's harder for me to get out of the house when I'm taking care of my kids. So I actually do a lot of sampling through the mail. It's not the fastest way to do things, but it's where I'm connecting with people. I also, when I'm out doing my grocery shopping, I carry around a big messenger bag that has doTERRA on the side, and I have my sample case with me so that, and I have to refill, so that if the opportunity presents itself, I'm able to give a sample, and I always have my business cards and some literature that I can pass along to people so they can get in touch with me. So I'm not building as fast as Kathy, but as long as you're doing something consistently, that's the real important thing with a business like this, just being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is there anything more specific that you want to me?
Well, yeah, and that, I mean, in doing what you've been doing, what has been some of your greatest experiences so far? I mean, the paychecks are nice, it's paying for your oil, but the relationships that you've made.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really what it is for me. Money was never my big motivator. It was really about what difference I could make and how I could help other families, especially special needs families. I have 2 children with autism. So that's always been a big motivator for me. And the stories that you get back and hearing that, a mom who hasn't slept in 6 years is able to sleep through the night now because her kids are finally sleeping. Things like that, that's where my payoff is. And what I found is that, and Kathy's going to touch on this whole idea of sharing versus selling. And what I found is that when we're genuine, when you have a heart that really wants to help somebody and they see that, that's when the sale comes, because they know that you care and that you're there for them. It's not about the money. It's about really seeing the breakthroughs for their family. So that's been amazing. I really do feel that it's a calling and a greater purpose besides just bringing in the bucks.
I agree. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you will hear that at doTERRA conventions if you go, which, by the way, it's coming up in September. If anybody wants to go, we have extra tickets for that. You're going to hear that on webinars. You're going to hear that on leadership calls. That you know, when we are genuine and when we are honest and when we are living with purpose and living the story that God has given us to live, the benefits will follow. And sometimes that's financial. With doTERRA, I believe it can be financial all the way. But there is so many other side benefits associated with that as well. So just keep that in mind as we're talking about this and looking at these pay structures and all that kind of stuff, that there is a lot more ways to benefit from doTERRA than just a paycheck. Okay. All right. So I am going to share my screen with you now and start going through our presentation here. Hang on. There we go. Oh, wait. Why did I just pick up that little thing? Oh, I don't want to do that. Let me stop for a second and try again. Carrie, do not laugh at me, okay? I just picked up a pen instead of going there. That's what I need to do. Okay, so here's this screen again. Someone is praying right now for what you have to offer, and I fully believe that there are people out there looking for natural solutions. Carrie has found special needs families all over Florida for sure, but really all over the United States who are seeking these answers. And it's not just special needs families. We've got so many people out there. I just went to lunch today with a family who's really seeking answers for her husband who's been diagnosed with stage 4 bone cancer. And just amazing results that he's been having already. His scan was almost clear the other day when he went in, and the only thing that they have changed is the essential oils. And it just makes me so happy. It just makes me want to kind of choke up, because I just think, wow, that is just, that's it right there. You know, when you can truly be able to be that answer to prayer for somebody else, it just makes it all worth it. So we're just gonna, what's that?
Your display settings, I think you need to change.
Oh, sorry, dudes. Okay, so that one? Sorry.
Yep.
That's it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we're just going to go through these first few slides really quick. Expectations of a doTERRA leader. And this is when you want to, you know, make money with doTERRA, whether that's a supplemental income or whether you are replacing an income with this, is the expectation is that you will have a 150 monthly LRP order. That's between your orders and any other orders that you bring in during the month from other people. That you're going to be a product of the product, and you really want to go through that catalog and figure out all of these products so that you can tell people about those. Weekly communications with your upline leader. This is really important. Communication with your upline. So because we're business partners now, and so it really is important to know what I'm doing affects what you're doing, and what you're doing affects what I'm doing. So that communication is huge. Bi-weekly mentor or strategy calls, and I think I actually meant here bi-monthly. I'm sorry. So this is going to be at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month, strategizing what that's going to look like, how many classes you might need to have, how many one-on-ones you want to have for you to reach your goals. Continuing personal development and product education, that's a given. Same-day response to communication from upline or downline. Again, if you had a job, and I don't want to say job, that's this. I guess it depends on what you want to do with doTERRA. If you want to have a full-time income, we really do need to treat this as a job. If you want to have a part-time income, you can kind of treat this like a hobby. It's up to you. But when we're saying that you're a doTERRA leader, this is important. And if you have a job, you would expect to communicate with your boss. I'm not your boss. Carrie isn't your boss. That's not how it is. We each get to do what we want, but communication is important. Great customer service. We definitely want to hone that one in. Answer people's questions and get them what they need. Here's another expectation, is that you will have one event, one one-on-one meeting, or one class per week. Now, for Carrie, that looks different than it does for me. I love to do a class in my home or somewhere else every week. That could be a phone call with a friend. That could be messaging somebody on Facebook, whatever that looks like for you. But it is keeping yourself moving forward and keeping yourself out there. Daily to think about 2 new contacts and 2 new follow-ups. Wellness consults with new wellness advocates at least 1 week after getting their kit. So this is where you're going over there, you're going through their oils with them, they're excited about that, they need to know how to use them. And when you do that and they know how to use their oils, they're going to become a loyal customer. So those wellness consults are huge. And then you want to check your back office daily. And this may be something that on a mentor call, that just to go through your back office personally with your upline might be a really good idea with either me or Carrie or whoever else is your upline, to really understand all of those benefits of your back office. You do need to move people off your front line within 14 days. And by the end of July, you should already kind of have a plan and a goal for August. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like in August, I want to get 3 new enrollments, or in August, I want to solidify my $50 Power of 3 bonus. So whatever those goals are, we want to be able to help you meet those. So please let us know. Okay, so I know we went through this last week. Is there any questions before I move on? All right, average earnings per rank, and my next slide actually goes through the ranks. So let's look at this, average earnings per rank. Carrie is kind of sitting on that silver rank right now. I'm more towards the upper end of gold and have been at that platinum rank as well. So you can see that some of these numbers are really starting to come to fruition. I mean, if we're looking at the rank of diamond, which is like the rank that pretty much, when you're looking at being a business builder, you're really looking at like diamond. Like once I hit diamond, I feel like I would have made it. And a diamond is someone who has 4 silvers underneath them. And that average monthly earnings, I mean, we're talking almost $17,000. I mean, what if you were on the low end of that? What if it was only $8,000 a month? That would be pretty cool. For most people, when we're talking about having an extra $500 come into the home a month, that is life-changing for most people. So the realization that these ranks are available, it takes work to get there. You're not going to sit there and hope people come underneath you and it's all going to fall into place and you're going to make a bunch of money. That doesn't happen with multi-level marketing. If anybody ever told you that multi-level marketing isn't really a job, they've never done multi-level marketing, because it kind of is. But we get to do what we want to do when we want to do it and with who we want to do it. It's awesome. I get to travel anytime I want to, work out of my home, and I just really feel the freedom with that. So when we're looking at these doTERRA ranks, the first rank that you're really looking to achieve is elite. And elite means that you and everybody in your organization, so you and everybody underneath you, your volume equals 3,000 OV. Now OV stands for overall volume. And all of the bonus structures in doTERRA are based on the fact that when you go elite, now your goal is to find 3 people who will go elite as well, okay? So the mantra is build to elite, build to elite, build to elite, build to elite. So Carrie and I are looking to build, and Tara and all of you who are business builders on this call, we're looking to not only ourselves be elite, but help you become elite as well, because that helps you to get to your bonus structures. So if you see then the next rank here is Premier, and Premier means that you have 5,000 overall volume, but you have 2 people who you are calling leaders in your organization. So you have 5,000 overall, but you have 2 legs that have 2,000. And then you might have some other people in your organization that are adding up to that 1,000, or there's like a 3,000 leg and a 2,000 leg. That makes you a Premier. And there's a new bonus called the empowerment bonus when you become Premier, that you make an extra about $200 on top of all of the other bonuses that you get. So that Premier leg is where you're really starting to be a leader. So they give you a leadership bonus for that. Silver is now, it doesn't matter how much overall volume you have, because what you're doing is you're a leader now and you're creating other leaders. So now when you find 3 people who are elite, so you see each one of them have 3,000 underneath of them. When you find 3 people who go elite, you are now silver. And another bonus structure starts to kick in when you're silver. So these leadership bonuses are when you get to these ranks, this is what really starts to add up. A gold is where you have 3 people underneath you who are premier. So that rank right above is premier. You're finding 3 of those people to put underneath you. So now you're working with leaders on your second level as well. Now I skipped a rank in here called platinum, and that's where I'm at right now. And platinum is where I have 3 silver legs. And then diamond is 4 silver legs. And again, that's kind of like a amazing plateau when you can get to diamond and of course beyond. But just at elite, and if you have about your $50 power of 3 bonus and you're elite, you're probably going to be making about $150 a month, between 150 and 200, depending on if you have any fast start bonuses that go with that. And maybe more, depending on how many fast start bonuses you have. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information. I'm going to stop. Is there any questions on this?
I have a question. When it's the overall volume, is that overall per month? Or is it just overall? It's per month?
It's per month. So on the first of the month, when you go back into your back office, it goes back to 0. And that's like, really, I got to do that again, you know? So yeah, so on the last day of the month, the last week of the month is really where you're strategizing to be able to reach those goals and get to those next levels that you want to hit. So I, as a leader, I'm more than willing to help people get incentives that you can, give to people to be able to hit those ranks and things like that. So that's why communication is so important. So very, very good question, Mandy. Anything else? All right. I am going to attempt to share my screen again. I'm getting good at this, you guys. Okay. So, why is this not advancing now? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we are going to talk about pipes. So pipes is, I'm just going to read this up in that upper left-hand corner. doTERRA is a relationship business that is grown by consistently engaging in 5 pipeline building activities, or pipes. The more you put into your pipeline, the more you get out. So whether this is dollar signs falling out of this or whether it's changed lives falling out the bottom of this, the more people that you can put through your pipe, the more effect you're going to get. So this pipe is PIPES, and it stands for prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. So what we're going to be doing now is breaking down each one of these things and going through these for the rest of our time together. So this quote here where it says, change lives, grow yourself, and get paid for it. I truly believe that doTERRA is a personal development program that's wrapped in a compensation plan, and that we get the opportunity and the power. Well, the power is already within us. I call that Jesus myself. But we do have the opportunity to change and grow and be different, because for me, it's helped me realize that power within me in many more ways than what I would have ever thought or imagined on my own. And then they send me these paychecks, and it's pretty cool. So just know that as we're going through these pipes, that not only are you going to be changing lives, your life is going to change as well. So when we're talking about prepare, there's 3 things that we really need to prepare. We need to prepare our mindset, we need to prepare our skill set, and we need to prepare our tool set. So when you're preparing your mindset, by a show of hands, and I'm sorry, I'm looking this direction because I can see all of you over here. How many do you have a fear of failure? Oh, okay, now we're getting real. Okay, fear of rejection, right? These are just basic fears that people have. I mean, if you talk to anybody around the world, I don't care what culture they are, these are two of the basic fears that we have. And when we're talking about putting ourselves out there, you just have to know that in sales, and we're going to talk about more about how this is sharing, but you are going to have an element of rejection, and you are going to feel failure, but failure is only a way to be able to feel success, because if we don't fail, we don't find different ways to do things and do them in ways that are going to work for us. So these are truly not fears. So if we have that mindset of, you know, there's no failure, there's only ways to find out ways to do things differently, and you know, I'm going to be rejected, so that's okay. They're not rejecting me. So believe this, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting the opportunity, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. For us to be like needy and grabbing and you know, be, you know, feel like, oh, poor me, you know, if you don't get on my team, then I'm going to go eat dirt. Nobody wants to be with that kind of person, to have that confidence, that mindset of belief in your products and belief in your company. That is huge, absolutely huge. So get your product stories together, because you've got to have this this confidence in your products and be able to tell your story in a compliant way, because people know you and people trust you, and when you tell your story, you're not going to be lying to them. So really, with that air of confidence, that self-confidence, and here's a big one: find your why. Because if you simply say, I want to help people, that's awesome, but it's not going to carry you through the hard times. Or if you simply say, I need to make an extra $1,500 a month, that's okay, but that's not going to carry you through the hard times. So your why, and I say this to the people that I coach, my leaders, your why should make you cry. So when you start peeling back the onion of why you would want to do this or share these amazing products with somebody, it should really get down to a, you know, a core level of, I'm already just thinking about my why, right, Carrie? And it just makes sense. It just makes sense that when you get down to the heart level of this, you can't not do it. So find your why. And I'm going to leave you with that assignment today. That if you say, my why is because I want to help people. Why do you want to help people? I want to help people because I believe that I have products that are awesome. Why do you believe that you have products that are awesome? And when you get that answer, keep asking yourself why until you get to this place that really feels really heartfelt for you. And here's another mindset: you have value. Okay, not only do you have products that are life-changing, you yourself have value. So you are one of the best assets that you have. And for us to truly believe that is amazing. It's fantastic. So this is all part of the process of where you get to grow and where you get to become different. Now, your skill set, okay, this is easy. This is, hey, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to watch some webinars, and I'm going to learn about these products, and I'm going to learn about the compensation plan. So you're going to learn about those oils, and you're going to have your personal use with those products. Know how to use your back office. Again, if you want me or Carrie to go through that with you, either in person or online, we can certainly do that. Confidence in your teaching. You have something that people need to know. So have a confidence that you are the one who's going to bring them this information. And then another skill set is setting goals. Most people don't really know how to set measurable goals. I had somebody tell me the other day, my goal would be to be making $10,000 by Christmas. And I thought, that's awesome. But if you don't start doing something, it's probably not going to happen. Okay, so that's like a really big goal. But I ask people, break it down, break it down, break it down. What's your goal for today? Okay, how many contacts are you going to make? What's your own personal stuff going to be today? And then what's your goal for the week? And then what's your goal for by the 15th of the month? Okay, so that's what I mean. Set those small goals so that you can see forward to your big goal. And then do not put yourself in the poorhouse by starting your business with doTERRA. I want to say that again. You do not need to run up your credit cards, and I want you to have smart spending and financial habits. And in fact, that is a core value of doTERRA. I've been in other multi-level marketing companies, and they would be more than happy for you to max out your credit card. Please don't do that. We want you to be smart with your money. And then your tool sets. Okay, there is an Elite Builder worksheet, which I just put up yesterday on the website, the Facebook page for our Freedom Drops leadership page. And then this week, I will also put up those Premier Builder worksheet and the Silver Builder worksheet. And what this does is it kind of gives you a blueprint and puts those things in your mind about what do I need to do? How many classes do I need to hold? How many people do I need to talk to? What does that look like? And how can I ask for help from my upline? You want to have your class materials, which of course means your oils. You, again, don't go broke buying everything in the book. You do not need to do that. If you have a family physician's kit with those 10 little bottles of oil, you can do a great class with those 10 little bottles of oil. So just know that as you keep going, you're going to get more class materials, which include your product literature. You want to have product guides. Every month, keep product guides. Now, unless you get a big stack of these, okay? But I keep product guides on my order every single month. You get 9 of them for $10. So they're 90 cents a piece for this amazing, it's just a really nice magazine to be able to hand people. It just shows people the quality of doTERRA. Get skincare guides, get lifelong vitality guides. And if you have not yet, get what's called a class in a box. It's 25 bucks. You get 10 of those little wild oranges. I mean, that's $2.50 a piece, just if that's all you got. But you also get a video, and you also get doTERRA magazines, and you get handouts for your classes, and it's just a really, really great, easy way to do a class. Mandy, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes, there you are. Okay. I know you just did your first class last week. Would you please tell us your, I don't know, I just want them to hear your excitement, because you just started like really a few weeks ago. So could you just tell us your experience so far?
Oh man, I'm on the spot now. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Before my class, I was like super excited, but super like lots of anxiety at the same time. But I'm only a month into this and doing my first class on my own with Kathy's support over the phone only, and through the video calls. But actually, like hosting the class by myself and everything, it went so good, and it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. And like everything just went great. Like I didn't have any reason to have as much anxiety as I did. So now, like that day, I already booked my next class or scheduled my next class. Like it's just like made me so much more excited after the first one and with everything. And that fear of failure that I did have is like gone, because I'm so passionate about all of this that I can't even failure is not even an option. Like I don't know. I can't even describe it. Like I wish I could completely describe the way I feel, because I want everybody to feel the same way as I do.
Oh, that kind of sounds the same way as when I met Jesus. I kind of wanted everybody to feel that way. And, I love Mandy's story, and I love hearing about how her class went and how excited she is, because you guys, we can get stuck in the prepare mode forever. We can prepare for the rest of our lives and never invite anybody and never really do a presentation and never enroll anybody. I don't know enough about the oil, so I don't learn so much about it. And what I find so fun about Mandy is that her passion is overriding any of the knowledge that she doesn't even know she doesn't have yet. Right, Mandy? Right. Yeah. And passion is going to trump knowledge every single time. So tell us, when you were doing your classes, how did your audience respond?
Everybody was pretty excited because I've kind of I'm talking about doTERRA anywhere I'm at now, and I always have my sample oils and everything with me, so people were already kind of prepared, like being like my closest family and friends that were at the first class. But there was one person that was like, didn't even want to come, but she just came because she's one of my best friends, and she didn't want nothing to do with nothing. And by the end of the class, she was like, dang it, I wasn't supposed to like this. I wasn't supposed to want to buy anything. Like, she was just all excited about it. And she seemed like she heard all of my stories, because I don't always tell her like all my success stories with different oils, but she got to hear my daily routine and my successes that I've had so far with the benefits. So it got her like excited about it, and everybody else even excited. So
exactly. And that's really fun when you start to get that one person excited. So thank you, Mandy, so much for that. I'm so excited for what's going to happen. And that's, admittedly, you probably don't know everything about the oils yet. And yet, just sharing stories, that's what's going to help people get there. So another way to prepare, if you write this website down, it's called sharesuccess.com. Share Success, doTERRA doesn't have a lot on their website about business building, but the sharesuccess.com website is your business building website for doTERRA. There's a couple other ones out there, but I really think Share Success is one of the best ones. They have videos on there from the top leaders in the organization and everything, so check that out. And then another tool set is really to establish a trusting relationship with your upline. Doesn't even have, your upline, that's obviously the best person that you would like to do that, to have that trusting relationship with. But I have other mentors from cross lines that I speak with all the time as well. doTERRA is not territorial. We are very happy for cross lines. We are happy from other people from cross lines to come to our classes, even if they enroll with someone else, because we love the oil so much. Of course, we want them to be on our team. But more than anything is we want people to be safe, to know how to use the oils effectively, because what that's going to do is then that person is going to go out and maybe they tell them about us. Okay, so it's not always about that person that's sitting in front of us. It might be about somebody else who comes in after that. And then attending product in business trainings. This is huge because I learn every time I teach a class. And every time I go to a class that's taught by somebody else, whether it's a business meeting or a product meeting, I am continually learning. So attend as many of those as you can, and just find stuff online as well. And then your daily personal development. So what this means as daily personal development is you've got to take care of you. If you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. So whether that means prayer, meditation, reading scripture, worship, exercise, whatever that means for you, it is important for you to have that kind of space to be quiet with yourself, but also that personal development of product knowledge and learning more about the business and things like that too. So these are all things to prepare. And remember that mindset is going to be the biggest one. If you don't have a mindset that you can do this, you probably aren't going to. But the reality is that everyone on this call has a mindset that can put you in front of people to be able to change their lives. So these are just a couple of business building tools. We talked a little bit about this, but really get those product guides, have your enrollment forms, that class in the box, those essential life books. And Mandy, I know you got some of those as well. I have 30 of those essential life books that I have coming here. And Carrie's getting a big enough organization there as well, where it might be a good option for you, Carrie, to start buying those in bulk, and it just saves money for everybody when you can do that. One of your biggest business building tools is those little sample vials, and giving those out to everybody you know with a little bit of information about these oils, and then follow up. Okay, give samples to people and go, see you later, isn't going to do a whole lot for your business. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have a really good system of follow-up. I've often heard it said in any kind of sales, the money is in the follow-up. And it is so, so true, because there have been people, yes, I could be better at follow-up as well. There have been people I haven't followed up with, and guess what? They end up on somebody else's team because I haven't followed up with them. So make sure that you are following up. Get yourself to training opportunities. Make yourself known on social media. This is a huge business building tool. And don't blast your personal page with doTERRA, 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 because people they'll unfriend you. They don't want that. But simple little things like, take a picture of your glass of water and go, love a little bit of wild orange in my water. Once a week. Okay, that just gets people kind of intrigued about what you're doing. Or, my little guy wasn't feeling too good last night, and I'm sure glad I have On Guard at our house. Just little things like that on social media get you out there for the knowledge that people know you're using oils. Get yourself some business cards. Business cards are, and having a nice, well done business card really shows how much you care about your business as well. I got mine from doTERRAprint.com. I think I told you that last week. And you are your best business tool that you have. Be excited. If you're not excited about the oils, guess what? Nobody else is going to be excited about the oils either. I just talk like this normally. I talk like this all the time because I just love the oils. And I'm just kidding. No, I really do talk like that all the time. It gets annoying to me. So don't go overboard with it, but do be excited about what you have to offer. Okay, so here's the inviting. So this is the I in our pipes. Inviting. And look at this guy down here. Oh my gosh, please, please, please come to my class. Please come to my class. Please join my organization. We have something of great, great value to share. And we should not have to beg anyone to come into our organization or to use these oils or to see the value of them. If they are not seeing the value of the oils yet, then they maybe will at some time later in the future. I've had people come back to me even months later and join, or they're just not ready for it yet. And there's going to be other people out there who will. So if you have this idea, oh my gosh, if I could just get this one person involved, I'd be a millionaire. I just know, because they're going to love these oils and they're just going to go crazy with this thing and it's going to go awesome. And then they reject you and you feel like a failure and you're going to go eat dirt and your business is never going to go. That's not what this is about. Again, it's the amount of people that we can put through our pipe. All right. So making that list of 100 names, and you all have at least 100 names, I bet you could make a list of 200 names. Now, is everybody on your list going to say, sign me up? Probably not. But the statistics do say that about 70% of those people will engage with you. You may get a product sale from some of those people. You may get some of those people who want to have a wholesale membership. And out of those 100 names, you're probably going to find 3 people who are going to want to join you in this business. Those are really decent odds. So just know that not everybody is going to want to do what you do. And that's fine, because we have product users, and product users are who drive our volumes every single month. So love on your product users. Don't try to turn them into a business builder if they're really not. The business builders will be there. Okay, so you want to continue to add to your prospect list. Be in touch with 2 new contacts every day. And sometimes it's not 2 new contacts for me every day. It's more like maybe 10 a week. So just kind of keep that as an average. 10 a week is a really good average. And then sample, just drip on people. Sample, 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 sample. I had somebody call me today and she said, I just sent out 42 samples to 42 people today. And I was like, That is absolutely freaking nuts. Good for you, girl. So even if you do like 2 or 3 samples a month, you're going to go at a pretty good pace. And you want to give people value. You don't want to say, please buy these oils because I'm going to make money. Sorry, but that's never going to get you anywhere. The value has to be for them. So offering them learning opportunities. Is this going to be like natural solutions to their health concerns? People have real health concerns. And then another value would be incentives, incentivizing, either getting them into the organization or helping them build or something like that. Tell your story. So when you invite, especially your hot market, which is your family, your really good friends, that is your hot market, and they're going to know you. And when you tell this story and they can see a difference in you, they're going to know that, and they're going to trust that, and that's awesome. Then you've got your warm market, who might be coworkers or people from church or people at the gym, people that you kind of know just, in passing. And again, telling them your story or a little bit about you is a great way to be able to invite. I enrolled, now this might be one of the funniest enrollments I ever had. I enrolled a lady while hiking in Wyoming 2 weeks ago. She's from Minnesota, and I met her out hiking on the trails west of town here, and I enrolled her simply because I had peppermint in my water bottle, and I said, oh man, that tastes good. Have you ever tried peppermint in your water bottle? She goes, no. Is that those essential oils? I've just been looking into those. Do you know something about that? So I incorporated that into my story. And then because she had, it's kind of like she kind of took that bait. So now we could talk more about that. She came over to my camping spot and I signed her up. So just incorporating that into kind of like everything you do. Not everybody's going to take the bait, and that's fine. Because you know what? We don't always want to be just about essential oils. We're real life beings with real life families and real life other lives as well. So if you do make your whole life about doTERRA, that's kind of a little bit of a turnoff as well. So just know that there's this fine line there, okay? And then when you want to invite people to a class, to a one-on-one meeting, maybe over coffee or something like that. Invite them to a webinar that you know is coming up with doTERRA. Invite them to an event that might be in your city, or a class, a larger event that might be coming up. Always have an idea of when the next class is going to be, an idea of when that next event is going to be, so that you have that information and can tell people that, okay? And then when you're inviting, it is so very important that if you have a class planned, let's say you plan a class in 2 weeks, and you're going to invite 30 people to this class, and 10 people get back to you and say that they're going to come and that they would, love to learn more about the oils. What you need to do is you need to remind them of that at least the day before. And then you also want to just send a text. And most of us know the best way of communicating. Sometimes it's email for some people. Sometimes it's going to be a personal phone call for someone. Sometimes it's going to be texting. Sometimes it's Facebook messaging. But at least 2 forms of media communication to remind people about that event. And then the day of, I just say, hey, I'm so excited to see you tonight. If you want to bring a friend, feel free. And just another reminder, but let them know that you're excited about them being here. You are going to get some, like we talked about, rejection and failure and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that none of you have ever found like, oh, no, that stuff is just snake oil. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Anybody ever have that? Yeah, I know. We get that. I'm looking over at my screen over here. Do you want to see, you guys? Oh, see over here on my screen? Can you see yourselves? See, isn't that cool? You're on both my screens over here. Okay, so now you know I keep looking over this direction. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to tell people, it's called Feel, Felt, Found. And when you get that kind of, either backing out of an invitation or, that stuff doesn't work or whatever, I used to feel the same way. And I used to feel the same way, and what I felt about that was really keeping me from using these essential oils, because I didn't think that they were going to help me. But when I started to use them, what I found is they had amazing results that I never thought that I would have had before. Or multi-level marketing, I felt the same way. I hear what you feel about multi-level marketing, that you thought that it was a scam. I felt the same way too. And in fact, I was in other multi-level marketing companies before, and I said I was never going to do this before. But what I have found is that doTERRA is different, and their compensation plan is different. And they're a multi-level marketing company that doesn't really act like a multi-level marketing company. So yeah, I know how you feel. Okay, so what that does is it kind of deflates that situation. So remember this, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and this is what I found. Okay, so that's going to be that, what do I want to say, recipe, I guess, so that you can get them past those thoughts. Okay, so any questions about inviting? Because I will guarantee you, we can prepare till the cows come home, right? But when we start inviting, this is where it gets a little bit scary. So what are some of your thoughts about inviting? Ready to get out there and do this, right?
I have a comment, not a question.
Okay.
For anybody, if there's anybody that hasn't had a class yet, don't get discouraged if people don't show up to your class, because I invited like 25 or 30. I had like 12 say they were going to be there, and I had 5 show up. But it was still a very good class, and something is happening with all 5 of those people. So just don't get discouraged.
And now you have 25 other people that you still have to get to come to other classes.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So this is the way that we kind of have to see it, because I will bet that some of the people that are enrolling with you right now are friends of some of those other people who didn't come, right?
That's actually true.
Okay. So what might actually happen is now those friends are going to talk to those friends and say, oh my gosh, you really should have come to that class. This stuff is amazing. And what might happen is they end up enrolling under this other person. Now, Mandy, is that a bad thing?
No.
No, that's a very good thing, because what you're starting to do is you're starting to build your structure, and you're starting to have friends invite friends. And even though those friends might be your friends, whether they're on your 3rd level or your 5th level, they're still all a part of this family. And you still gain. In fact, you gain more from somebody else enrolling your friend than you enrolling your friend. So the way doTERRA's structure is built is that nobody loses. And I love that. I love that I get more value by placing somebody not on my 1st level and going wide with my 1st level. I gain more value by placing somebody underneath a friend that I might have on my 3rd or 4th level. Now, is that going to help my friend on my 3rd or 4th level too? Absolutely. So everybody kind of wins. All right, we really got off inviting there for a second. But any other thoughts on inviting? It's not as scary as it seems. And I'm glad that you said that, Mandy, because that's actually about really good odds. If you invite 20 or 25 people to a class, you're probably going to get 4 or 5 people. So just know that that's going to happen. Okay. Well, let me share my screen again. Okay. And then it takes a while till it lets me go forward. Or maybe it won't go forward at all. There he is. That's the guy I'm looking for. We all want to be this guy, right? this is exactly who we don't want to be, and this is who multi-level marketing people. When you come walking up, they see you as the used car salesman who wants to sell you something that they don't need. Okay, so you can share without sounding salesy, and that's why Carrie at the beginning of this said that we want to be able to have a sharing opportunity. And if, you know, it's just like when we're little kids, if we teach them to share nicely, right? Well, if that other person doesn't want what we have to share, that's perfectly fine. They don't have to take it. Now, when you are sounding salesy, it's like, you better take this or else, right? And I don't, I really don't like it when people, even some of my friends would come to my class and they feel like they have to buy something because they're my friend. Then I feel like I am a salesperson and they just have to buy something from me. If it's not going to be of value for them, I honestly don't want them to buy anything anyway. I want this to be able to change their life, and I want it to be able to be really honestly something that is going to be so valuable for them that they're going to want to tell other people about it as well. So it's not like, you know, I have to buy a pot and pan because I went to this class. And, you know, we all have multi-level marketing parties that we go to, and we feel like we have to go to that. At the beginning of my classes, I say, I don't want you to have, I don't want this to be high pressure at all. This is a class, and that's why we call it a class and not a party. So big difference with doTERRA, because we are giving value through education. That's what we are. We're educators, okay? So when we simply share education, we don't have to be salesy, because you can either take what I had to give you or you can leave it, and that's perfectly fine. So when we do that, we take away that pressure, and people are more likely to be able to want what we have when we take away that feeling of that they have to do it. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's get rid of that guy. All right, so we are in the P. Look at this. Present. Isn't this the funnest? See, for me, presenting is a piece of cake. I love this. I love to get up in front of people. I love to speak. I love to share knowledge. I love to field questions. But of course, I've been doing this for a really, really long time. And then there's other people that look at this little guy in front of this podium with a microphone, and they break out in a cold sweat, and they don't want anything to do with presenting, and this is so scary, and I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And the truth is that this is our growing edge. And this is where, you know, we don't have to be perfect at this. All we have to do is sit down with people who are our friends and pass around some oils. And if they ask us a question that we don't know, what do? We open a book and we can get the answers for them. We go to the internet and we can get some answers for them. So it really doesn't have to be rocket science. And the easier that you can make it, the more simple that you can make this, the better. So these are the 5 principles of having a really successful class. Number 1, we've talked about this a little bit. You want to create value. What do my attendees want? What are they here for? So we want to make it about them. We don't want to make it about us. We can tell our story, but keep it really short. I suggest that you keep your stories to about 3 or 4 minutes, and let them hear maybe some emotion in that story even, because when you can create an emotion around either your story or around these oils, then that sharing becomes a lot easier. And isn't it interesting that our oils themselves create emotion? So when you simply crack that bottle open and you start passing that around, and somebody smells it and goes, oh, that's the best I've felt all day. Simply by cracking open that bottle, cracking open that bottle and smelling it, we have created value for them, and we have created an emotional event for them. So we're offering hope. We're telling these honest stories. And when you tell your story, people will receive you without judgment, because you're honestly telling what happened to you. So you want to build belief that they too can have these great experiences. And have I ever met somebody who hasn't had great experiences with the oils? I have. But in reality, they either were not using them correctly, they were not using them in the intended way that they were supposed to be used, or they weren't using them often enough. So this is why education, and that education after the sale, is really, really important, because the last thing we want, you guys, is for somebody to buy a bunch of oils and they're just going to sit on their shelf, and every time they see them, they're going to regret that they bought those things. When then they put on Facebook, oh, I'm so sick again, and I'm going, you have oregano, you have melaleuca, you have On Guard. Don't tell me that this cough is lasting 2 weeks when you have Breathe. And I know that they have them. And then sometimes, but sometimes it's just been too long that they've had them and they're not willing to hear. But I still sometimes send a little private message and say, hey, I know you have some oils. Can I teach you how to use them and help you through this thing? I don't do that on their Facebook post. I don't feel that's appropriate at all, but there are times that I will private message them and want to help them. So keep those opportunities in mind as well. Okay, we want to be able to build trust. Yes, you want to be confident in your product, but you want to be confident in yourself and the results that we get. So this building trust is really being completely honest and confident in who we are in our products. You want to shake hands, you want to make eye contact, and again, show excitement and be passionate, because nobody wants to say, this is On Guard and it smells really good, and I think that's really going to help you, and I'll just pass it around now. Okay? They want to hear, On Guard is amazing. It smells like Christmas. Okay? I put this in my diffuser every night, and I know that it's cleansing my air even as I sleep. And I have not been sick in 3 years, and that excites me. So here's On Guard. Smell it. Let's get some ideas about what you guys think about this. All right? This is how we're passionate about that. And we have to know that we're bringing value to our audience, okay? I just saw a video today where this girl said she was at the class and she was the one sitting in the back of the room like this, selling snake oils, not gonna listen at all. And she said, and then they started to send around these oils and they smelled awesome and I was feeling good. And so we have to know that we are bringing value, even to that person who seems very skeptical. And then, of course, we want to teach easy principles. And I will tell you, this is where I've gotten myself in trouble, because I've brought my grand medical knowledge into this. I have brought my cellular biology into this. And that is not duplicatable. What Mandy did was duplicatable, okay? She just sat down with a couple of oils and she was having great experiences with her family, and she just passed those things around. And now all 5 of those people that were at her class are going to do something that is so duplicatable. Get that class in the box, put a video in and play those videos and pass some oils. Anybody can do that. So, and you also want to teach using correct knowledge. Absolutely. You don't want to make stuff up. Don't do that. Okay. Don't make stuff up. But you want this knowledge to be able to empower your audience. And again, you don't have to make stuff up, right? Because this book is right here, or get the app on your phone. You have everything you need right there. And then we want to be able to create change with certainty. We want to be able, at the end of the class, make a call to action. And with certainty and confidence, we want to be able to let these people know that change is possible in their lives as well. Okay? All right, so any questions about present? Oh, let me give you your little assignment here, and then I want you this week to write out your story, your essential oil, your doTERRA story, using compliant language. And when I talk about compliant language, I want you to go online and search a document called, Carrie, you might have to help me. Approved claims list. Okay, doTERRA approved claims list. And it has every oil and every product that doTERRA has, and it has the language that we can use when we're talking about it. So I can't really say, I had arthritis and I started using these oils and now I don't have any pain anymore. that is non-compliant. But I can say I was having a whole lot of discomfort in my family, and it goes back, you know, for generations in my family this way. And I started to use these essential oils, and I could go on walks again. I was feeling good. I was sleeping well again. And I don't know what else to attribute it to. I love these oils. Big difference between those two stories and the way that I presented them. Okay? And I want you to be able to tell your story in 4 minutes or less. 4 minutes or less. So write it out. It's amazing what happens when you start to write something out. Okay, what time we getting to be? Okay, we're past time already, and we're only through PIP. Any questions about presenting? All right, so just really quick, we will move on to enroll. So enroll is when, yes, I'm excited about this, I want to get started. So you can either enroll people in your back office online, or there is the membership form. It's the doTERRA enrollment forms. You can print them off online. You get them in the class in the box. And then you want to discuss which kit is best for your person. If the smallest kit is best for them, then that's the kit that's best for them. If the diamond kit is best for them, then that's the kit that's best for them. So according to their finances, we have to be able to do what's best for them, not what's always best for us, okay? And then you want to determine whether they're a wellness customer or an advocate. A wellness customer is just somebody who wants to buy the oils. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to do classes or anything. They don't have to give their social security number. Or you enroll them as a wellness advocate, which is, I believe, always the best thing to do, because then if they do give you their social security number, they can start to make some money with doTERRA, and you can actually put people underneath them if they do decide that they want to build. With a wellness customer, you cannot build under a wellness customer, but they can help you with your $50 power of 3. All right. A big thing about enrolling, talk about the LRP. The LRP, it's the best way. It's the most intelligent way to buy products. People get points back, and it is so much fun to be in the LRP and be able to use these points. So make sure you're talking about your experience with the LRP and how you're getting points back, and how it's really the best way. This is your residual income, is allowing people to know the benefits of being on LRP and getting stuff gradually every month. And you want to send them a welcome email. In this welcome email, share their wellness advocate number, the password that you gave them, what their first order came to, and maybe some websites that you can send them to start getting some information. You want to commit to help them share. You want to ask them to host a class. So booking classes from classes is a great thing to do. You might have some extra hostess gifts that you give. If you book a class right now, I'll give you a bottle of Balance, you know, when you hold your class. So you might have something like that. And then commit to help them build. Okay, so this is the Loyalty Rewards program. Let's talk about this next month. Okay, so we'll work more on loyalty rewards and building that residual income next month. So why don't we pick up with support next month? Because if you can enroll and enroll and enroll and enroll, but if you don't support the people that you enroll, you are not going to have the residual income, and you are not going to have that that sustained growth that you want in your organization. So we can talk about that more next week and that. Okay, so your belief in yourself, your products, your company is going to fuel your attitude, your excitement, your passion. And because of that attitude, it's going to fuel action to be able to write out your list and to be able to contact people and to be able to plan your first class and have that first class. And that's going to bring results. And when you get more results, it's going to bring more belief that, oh my gosh, these products are awesome. Now my friends are having great experiences, and I'm getting checks, and that's going to fuel your attitude, which is going to fuel your actions. And so it all starts with belief. It starts with that belief up in that upper left-hand corner. So continue to grow your belief. and start setting some goals, because setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. All right. So, is there any questions before we wrap up? Because I know that was a lot of stuff. Pipes is a lot of stuff. But basically, I mean, you've got your basic things that you need to do is find people, teach them, enroll them, and then duplicate it. Find, teach, enroll, duplicate. Find, teach, enroll, duplicate. Piece of cake. All right? Any questions? Look at that little butt.